All right, what is up, everyone? My name is Chris, and today, I've been kind of waiting to be doing some videos lately, and today it kind of came up to me that I should do something about Alain Vigneault, because I've been thinking of doing some stuff for AV and talking about his first season as head coach with the Flyers and things like that. Now, one of my biggest things is that Alain Vigneault was it's so hard to put into words, but he was literally one of the biggest reasons why the Flyers were as good as they were this season. Obviously he comes in with the veteran presence, coaching with Montreal, Vancouver, the Rangers, and going to the Cup final twice and coming into Philadelphia saying he wants to win a Stanley Cup here and all this stuff. As more as the season went on, the more I trusted AV. I felt like I was more comfortable with what he did with the lineup. I didn't really question much of what Alain Vigneault did because I knew that it would work. And that kind of came in more towards later into the end of the year, because I was just like, you know what, just let him do his thing, because I was like, because he didn't really make many bad moves in my opinion. To be honest with you, if I were to go back and actually look at each game and say to myself, okay, let's pick out one thing he did bad, I think you'd probably get at least under 5, maybe. I don't really think he made any ones that kind of stand out really big. Now one that comes to mind with me is when Shane Gostisbehere was put into the lineup versus New Jersey, and he said that he admitted that it was a bad move and then he should have gone down to Lehigh Valley first. He ended up playing that game, then going to Lehigh Valley, so it should have been the other way around. But that was really the only thing that sticks out to me. Some other things were that maybe starting Brian Elliott instead of Carter Hart, that was one thing. I feel like there was a couple of times that they should have did it the other way, or maybe did it a different way, and putting in this guy versus this, say putting Hart in 2 nights in a row instead of splitting them, or Elliott 2 nights in a row and vice versa. But the one thing was that his lines were pretty good. I didn't really think there was much that they could do line-wise. I didn't really think he made many bad lines. Obviously, at the beginning of the season, you had the Lindblom, Konechny, Couturier line. That was one of the biggest things and the reason why the team was playing so good. Later in the stretch, you had the whole veterans line, Couturier, Giroux, Voracek. And then I know around February, you had Alby Kubel with Bunneman and Raffle. That was a very good line. There were so many different lines. Hayes, Lawton, and Konechny. There were so many good pairings, good lines that they were able to put together and figure out with the team. And honestly, that really went for the defense as well. I didn't really think Alain Vigneault had many bad things with the defense. I thought he did a good job with keeping Provorov with Matt Niskanen, and then kind of figuring out what he's going to do with Phil Myers, with Sanheim, and same thing with Justin Braun, and obviously everything with Shane Gostisbehere going along, and things like that. I didn't really think Alain Vigneault made many bad moves at all. He was an unbelievable coach this season. I am so happy that he's here to stay for a couple more years. And honestly, I feel like that he's the perfect fit for this, because I said from the beginning, when they hired Terry and Mike Yeo and Alain Vigneault, I was like, Mike Yeo and Michel Therrien weren't the greatest NHL head coaches, but they were okay, but they weren't great, right? Then you have Alain Vigneault, who was a very good, experienced head coach, and who at the time was probably the second best candidate that the Flyers could have gotten, and obviously Joel Quenneville being number 1 when he went to Florida. Then the Flyers get Alain Vigneault. But the thing was that they get AV, and I was like, all right, that's good. And then they ended up getting Therrien and Yeo, and I was like, these guys weren't great head coaches, but as an assistant coaches, that's really good. You have 3 guys with experience, all in the coaching staff. Then you add Ian LaPerriere to it, who's been there for a long time. That was really good for the Flyers. I think that was one of the biggest reasons why they were so good this season. But let me know what you guys think below about AV. And one thing that I loved about him too was that the way he was able to joke with the team and the media and all that stuff, like the whole Kata Hot thing. That was great. I loved it. And I even do it sometimes too. And I find myself just continuously joking around and doing it all the time. But again, guys, let me know what you think about Alain Vigneault. What did you think of his first season as head coach of the Flyers? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of good comments. I can't see much here negative. But again, let me know what you think below. And remember, podcast articles, those links are on my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. And goodbye.